Hi friends! In today's story, we meet two sisters who are in the same contest together. Which sister is going to win? Will it be Abra or will it be Meryn? Let's find out. Welcome to Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories. My name is Uncle DJ and this is Mr. Kitty. I know that Mr. Kitty is not there. Every time I turn my head, you see Mr. Kitty? I don't know where Mr. Kitty is today, but maybe one day. So what do we do on Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories? Well, I'm going to tell you a bedtime story, and then at the end, we're going to play a game. So you got to pay attention to the whole story, otherwise you can't play the game. Today's story is called What Happened to the Airplane When Abra and Meryn Entered the Same Contest. Are you ready for today's story? Let's go. Today's story is about two sisters. So the one girl, let's just call her Meryn. Meryn. That's a really specific name. Yes, I know. And her sister, let's just call her Abra. Meryn and Abra. That's what I said. And you're sure you don't know these people? I'm just telling stories about about people that could possibly exist. Abra and Meryn love to fly airplanes. They're all about the airplanes. Building them, flying them. We're talking paper airplanes, airplanes made out of balsa wood. Balsa wood is really light wood, great, perfect for making airplanes. And they love making these airplanes, flying them in the backyard. They just love flying airplanes. And every year, the airplane show comes through town every year. And every year, they just love going to the air show. They love it. Here comes the air show. Can we go? And Mom and Dad are, of course, yeah. This year, there was going to be a contest of model airplanes made out of balsa wood that could fly the furthest. First prize, $100. Meryn and Abra got so excited. They said to Mom, can we enter this contest? We got to get into this contest, right? And Mom is thinking, well, are you two a team or are you competing? Are you two a team or will you be competing against each other? And they're like, we never thought of that. A few airplane thinking moments later. We would both like the prize money, so I guess we're competing against each other. And she said, okay, yeah, you two can enter the contest, each on your own. That's fine. And so they did that. Now, airplanes. Let's talk about airplanes. And that leads us into our science lesson of the day. So how exactly does an airplane stay in the sky? Well, an airplane basically has four things to keep it in the air. It needs lift, thrust, gravity, and drag. Gravity is always trying to bring your plane back down to Earth, so you will need lift. Lift mainly comes from the wings of an airplane. Then you need an engine. You need something to push you through the air. You need thrust. When you have thrust and lift, it keeps your airplane in the air. When an airplane wants to land, it slows the engines down and then it can glide back down to the earth. And this is how an airplane stays in the sky. Pretty cool, eh? Today's science lesson has been brought to you by Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories. Please fly airplanes responsibly. Now, Abra's specialty is thrust. She knew exactly just how to use the elastic band to give her plane more power, make it fly farther. Yes. And so she's in the backyard experimenting with her airplanes and the new design that she found to use her rubber band. Now, Meryn's specialty, Meryn is all about the lift. Lifting the plane with the wings, making it stay in the air longer. She's like, yes, my plane is going to go further because it's going to stay in the air longer. So they're both trying with their airplanes in the backyard. And so here's the thing. So Abra's plane was very fast, but it went very fast, but it didn't fly very long. And Meryn's plane would fly really high and get nice height, but it just didn't have enough power. And so they can kind of see this with each other, but they don't want to come together and work together. They still just want to do their own thing. And Mom is looking out the window, and Mom is very wise, and she's looking out the window, and she's thinking, now it's lunchtime. She calls them into lunch. Their favorite lunch, macaroni and cheesy sauce. Don't you mean macaroni and cheese? No, I mean macaroni and cheesy sauce. It's cheesy sauce, non-dairy. Kids are allergic to dairy. Oh, okay. Interesting. Can I try some? Okay, yeah, I'll make you some. Back to the story. Hello. So the girls come in for lunch, and they're having lunch, and Mom says, ticket taker, you know, I noticed, Abra, that your plane is very powerful, but it's not going very far. And Meryn, your plane is going, it's getting really good lift, but it needs more power. Why don't you two work together and then share the prize money? So the girls thought about this and said, you know what? Yeah, we each need each other to win this thing. So let's do it. Let's become a team. Yay, team! And so that afternoon, they were working in the backyard, working on their airplane. And Meryn's doing her thing with the wings, and Abra's doing her thing with the elastic band. And this plane came together in a little while. It was an amazing plane. So they wound it all up and they let it go. And it flew through the backyard, and it flew so long and so high, and it was great. It's like, wow, this thing is really going. In fact, it flew over the fence and over onto the road, and a car ran it over. Just kidding. Don't say that. You're messing with people. Stop it. The plane did fly over the fence and just into a field, but they were just so happy. They're like, yes, this is it. It works. Yay. And so the day came of the air show. It was amazing. There was single engine planes. There was biplanes. There was even an F-18. This thing is huge and so noisy. It would just fly through the air and just boom. And so they just loved all of this. And they had such a great time. Then it came time to fly their airplanes. And so all the kids lined up and they all let their planes go. And some were going 20 feet, and some were going 30, and some were going 50. And Abra and Meryn, they're just like waiting and waiting and waiting. Their plane was going last. And there was one plane, oh man, it went really far. You know whose plane it was? Yeah, all I can say is, it better not be Billy's plane. That's all I can say. Billy is not in this story, okay? Billy was not even going to be in this story until you just said Billy. Stop saying Billy. He doesn't need to be in every... Stop it. Abra and Meryn, it's time for them to launch their plane. They send it into the sky, and it goes. It's got the right power. It's got great lift. This thing is just flying through the air. And then all of a sudden, there was a loud... Yeah, just like that. And they look. Everybody looks around. It's like, what was that loud noise? You know what that noise was? That's right. The airport was located right next to Mew's mansion. Plane went up, and it stayed up, and it stayed up, and it stayed up, and when it finally came down, it beat all the other planes. This thing flew 67 feet. It was amazing. And they're the winners. They win. Yay. And they won the $100, and they both split it. They got $50 each. So what did they buy with their money? I want to know. What did they buy? Yeah, would you? Yeah, what did they buy? Do you really want to know what they bought with their money? I'm going to save that for another story. Oh man! So it was such a great day. They had such a great time. They were riding in the vehicle on the way home. And Mom said to them, she said, so which did you like better? Did you like it better when you were competing against each other or when you worked together? And both of the girls said, we enjoyed it so much when we were working together. We can go further together than we can separate. And so, friends, how is it with you? Would you rather work alone or would you rather work with somebody and combine your talents to go further? And that is the end of the story. That's the end of the story? That's the end of the story. You know what time it is, right? That's right. It's time for the recap mishap. What happens on the recap mishap? Let me tell you what happens on the recap mishap. I'm gonna retell the story. I'm gonna recap the story. And when I do, I'm gonna make 5 mistakes. How many mistakes am I gonna make? That's right, 5 mistakes. Are you ready? Let's go. Today's story is about 2 sisters, Abra and Tara. And if there's one thing that the girls love, it's airplanes. Airplanes, airplanes, airplanes. They love airplanes. Building them, paper airplanes, airplanes made out of balsa wood. They just love making airplanes, flying airplanes, going to airplane shows. Love the airplanes, right? Well, the air show is coming back to town like it usually does every year, and they're going to go. And this year, there's a contest to whoever can fly their model airplane the furthest is going to win $100. Yes. So the girls both decide that they are going to enter this contest. Now, they enter it on their own, separately at first, because Abra is really good at thrust, power, the motor, giving the airplane the power that it needs to go forward. And Meryn, she's really good at drag, knowing what slows down the airplane to make it go further. And so separately, they start building their airplanes, but they just don't go very far. So they go in for lunch. Mom made their favorite lunch, macaroni and cheese. And so they're there, they're eating lunch, and Mom suggests, hey, why don't you 2 work together? And then that way you can make one airplane and it can go really far using the talents that you both have. So they thought about it and it's like, yeah, okay, let's do that. They built their plane and it's ready to go. They tested in the backyard and it flew so far. We're ready for the air show. Day of the air show comes. There's single engine airplanes, there's biplanes, there was even an F-15, like these big fighter jets. Woo! When the time came for the girls to fly their airplane, it flew the furthest, went 57 feet. Winner, they won. It was such a great day, and on the way home, Mom was commenting on how well they worked together, and the girls realized that separately, they can only go so far, but together, when they work together and combine their specialties, they went further. And they were happier when they could work together and go further. And so that is the end of the recap. Did you catch the 5 mistakes I made? Good luck in finding them. Thank you so much for watching Uncle DJ's Bedtime Stories. I really appreciate it. And tonight, I want to say goodnight to Emma Lynn. Good night, Emma Lynn. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, watch another video. Lots of videos. We are getting videos. We're getting more videos all the time. Thank you so much. Hit the like button. Tell your friends. Share it with your friends. Put it on the bottom of an airplane. And that's about it. And watch another video and we throw in some bloopers and then we're good. And yeah. All right. Oh man, I totally forgot to say that with the beginning of the story. I have to go to the beginning of the story. Okay, right. Take this part here, put it back to the recap. Okay. Here comes the airplane show. I made 5 mistakes, or maybe I made 6, I don't know. No, I think it was 5. I made 5 mistakes thing there, and I got the science lesson in there, and so we just leave all that out. All right, and that's the end of the story. Okay, and we're done. And we're done. Thanks again. Bye.